On a tremendous Tuesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining and watching or listening to the show. We appreciate it. As always, it's brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Lotto Max tonight. The Adam Henrique, 19 mil up for grabs at PlayAlberta.ca. We got lots to discuss on the show, from home run derby. Maybe they should have a swing off. We'll get to that. We'll talk about, a gentleman that being rumored is going to get traded. Oh, he's looking for 9 mil, which, man, some of the looking for projections and the actual contract signed, I can't think of how many were so overinflated by people online that didn't live. Oh, Bowen Byram wants 9 mil. And I'm like, what? What did he sign for today? 2-year deal, just over 6 mil. Now, it walks him to free agency. But if you're the Buffalo Sabres, at some point, you want to try to retain good players so you can maybe end your NHL record 14-year playoff-less drought. So we'll talk about that. The team in the West, the Anaheim Ducks, their goaltender, Dostal, McTavish, both guys need new contracts. They'll get them done here before, well, I would assume anyway. But are they ready to take a step? Could they be the team that jumps up in the NHL? Spec will be by. We got Struds, Tyler Remchuk, Terry Ryan will join us. Myself, got Connor Halley. You've got KC Chiefs are happy as they sign a key member to their team for a 4-year deal. Is Trey Smith, 4 years, $94 million for the guard. You saw his quarterback tweeting out smiley faces because they got their 2 key guys in the offensive line signed up. Did you watch the home run derby last night? Were you entertained? It was hard to be not. To me, I think that was very entertaining. The dump truck, but the big dumper, not the dump truck. The big dumper wins. Man, what a season Cal Rowley's having. Like, season for the ages. Like, you put him up against anybody. The fact he's a catcher just makes it kind of even more unreal. But you're in the home run derby, your younger brother's catching, your dad's pitching. Like, that in itself is an unreal Cinderella story, right? You saw it, he autographed his mom, gave her a jersey, say, hey mom, thanks for everything. So she's in the crowd like, oh my goodness, both my boys are out there and my husband. Like, what a night for them. There's no doubt. Now, wasn't without some questions. Connor Halley, first of all, did you watch the home run derby last night?
I will say it's lost a bit of the appeal for me personally. I was in and out. I was not a diehard from start to finish.
Okay. Did you see I don't know if do we call it controversy when how they basically did a measure off between him and O'Neill? Did you see that?
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. Like, it was wild. Like I know that they've got all the science. Like, is it that accurate? Percent that accurate? Where you're there? Oh, dude, we know where it's going. Like, I don't know. I'm guessing they assume it is. Like, I'm not saying it's completely inaccurate, but is it that accurate to the point, like, to that difference? And I think now they've never had this before, so it is something that maybe they weren't prepared for. But wouldn't you want to swing off in that moment? Okay, we're going to get 5 swings after that just to add to the intrigue. Am I wrong on that?
No, I mean, it's kind of sudden death, right? Like, let's take a little bit further. Let's see who's going to hit the biggest shots when it matters, knowing what's on the line. I think that would have been a great way, and something they should look to, because they obviously have no issue changing up the rules and the formats for this contest. Switch it out that way. Make it a little bit more, I guess, dramatic, not so anticlimactic, perhaps.
Yeah, like it was. And by the way, Cruz was hitting absolute moonshots. Like it was, I think he had 18 of his home runs were at least 450 feet. So that was phenomenal. Like he was just launching bombs, and I thought it was very entertaining. And Cal Raleigh, good for him. I just, if there was one thing, maybe I would look to say, could they have a swing off in the future? What do you think? Now, some might say, well, man, it's already long enough. They're going to extend it. Okay, I get it. But and Chaz Chisholm Jr., there's always one guy who just has a rough day at the plate, and that was him yesterday. So there you go, Cons. You're very excited. You didn't get your Yankee to do anything. He hit 3 home runs and did a whole lot of nothing else. Really, is that the fewest home runs by anybody in this since they've started this? Like, has anybody hit less than 3?
I don't know, but it was good because not only did he not win, he struggled. And that was actually what I was rooting for a New York Yankee, to go out there and not just not perform well and, but to actually struggle in that fashion. How about the kid making the catch on the wall, though, Gregor?
Well, it was a great catch, but wasn't it a home run?
It was a home run still, but I mean,
sick catch.
That's got to be that's my dream, to make a that on the national stage.
That's fair, right? Because that is it's funny you brought that up, because I'm going to ask people, like, if you could partake and you get to be in the outfield to catch the balls. Now, you're only there just to catch them so they're not rolling around, right? That's what they're there for. But like, I'm trying to, like, NHL doesn't really have anything that you would need someone on the ice for. But it still doesn't leave me. It's for my question of the day today is, if you want, is there anything that you think you would like to see that you don't see in the skills competition at the All-Star game? I'm not talking about the All-Star game itself, because to me, anyone who tries to make the game better, I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm never expecting the players to go all out in a meaningless game. I'm not expecting them, never going to. But the skills competition, these guys are going all out. There's no doubt about it. And tonight in the All-Star game in baseball, they will, because it's a non-contact sport. Your starting pitchers come in, they're going to get 1 inning, and your relievers might get 2 batters, and away you go. And the guys might get 1 or 2 plate appearances. So trust me, they're trying their best. So it's just a different game. But the skills competition in the NHL, Connor Halley, you got fastest skater, you've got the relay, obviously you have an accurate shooter, and you have all that. Is there one thing that you would like to see that you think would be entertaining in the skills competition? You don't have to give your answer right now if you haven't had time to think about it. I should have texted you that earlier so you're prepared. But so that's my question for any of the audience members today. 833-414-1414. Now, because of the Olympics and because of foreign a yearly thing, so keep that in mind. Because now, like, they're not going to do it. So they won't have an All-Star game. They didn't have one this year. They're not going to have one next year. I think the next one is going to be in 27, right? And then in 29, it would kind of be like every second year, because you would go Olympics, All-Star game, 4 nations, All-Star game, Olympics, or All-Star game. That's how it's going to go. So every second year, there's an All-Star game. Is there anything, or you're just like, there's nothing else I could do? I would like to see a one-timer. Like, because when the guys come in the, the standing still, hardest shot, do we ever see players skate in 10 feet and let one, and is on a stationary puck? I don't think we ever see it. At least, if you do, it's so infrequent. But in baseball, you see home run swings all the time. Now, obviously, the ball is coming in a little bit different, but still, that's the swing. So I would like to see one-timers implemented into the skills competition. The key is going to be, just like the home run competition, you need a good passer, right? Like, your pitcher in the home run competition is vital. You want to put in the sweet spot. He knows where you want it. Do you like it inside a little bit? I'm just going to be pulling it down the line all day long. If you like to get your arms extended, maybe we have it right in the middle of the plate. Everybody's different. So one-timers for me, that's what I would like to see at the All-Star game. And I also, when it comes to that, I want the best. I just don't want the All-Stars. I want the skills competition to be the best players that year. I don't care if there's 6 from one team and 0 from 5 teams. I don't care. I just want the best. But for the skills competition, that's where you can get your representation. Kids will still see a member of Buffalo or the Orders if they're at the bottom of the barrel again in the future at some point. Might happen. That's what I would want. What would you want? 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Halley, welcome back. Curious your thoughts on the Chargers. Do they win 9 games? Out of left field from Paul.
Out of left field. That is very out of left field. I don't know if you saw their uniforms today, Gregor. The new ones. They got an all yellow, which I'm not a huge fan of. They also have the navy blue, which look good, which could get them a couple wins. I would say yes. I think year 2, Jim Harbaugh and the Greg Roman offense, adding a few different players. Mekhi Becton, I think, is going to be a huge piece. A mountain of a man, because they were kind of afraid to run the ball right last year. It just wasn't working. You'd go to Rashawn Slater on the left side, and now you've got Joe Alt and Mekhi Becton on the right side. So I think that with Najee Harris, a guy who's just been kind of a grinder, who's going to get you 1,000 yards, combined with first-round pick Amari Hampton. I think that was a really good pickup. For receiving, bringing Conklin over from the New York Jets, like he's not a huge tight end name, but he's such an upgrade from what they had last year. With all due respect to Will Dissly, he wasn't brought in to catch the amount of passes that he did. Hayden Hurst was hurt, and he kind of was thrust into that spot. They also drafted a couple nice young players, and they bring back Mike Williams, who is a guy that can actually catch the ball over his shoulder, unlike Quentin Johnson. So I think the offense is going to be a little bit better than we saw last year, giving Herbert a little bit more time. Hopefully he doesn't get injured like he did last season, week 2, I believe it was. And defensively, I think that Jesse Minter's got it going. So tougher schedule. I mean, there's going to be some tough games. It's going to be a tough division. The Broncos and Chiefs are really, really good. But I will say that they will win more than 9 games.
Ooh, all right. Hey, guys, make the skills actually the best guys. Use the NHL-led data and actually bring the 10 fastest skaters, hotter shot, et cetera, instead of have the All-Stars. Chris, I'm totally with you on that, buddy. I would agree. That would be better. 100%. Now that requires a commitment from the NHL to bring in more people, so the costs go up a little bit, but it's not that much. It's not that much at all, and you would still have lots of the guys already there who could compete. But especially in the hardest shot, I think it would make the team's internal skills competition would want to get to make it. Now, keep in mind, it's not always the fastest. It's who wants to go, because not everybody's going to want to go in it. Some people are going to want to break. That's fair. Like, look at the home run derby. There's only 8 guys in it. And each year it's different. If you win, usually they like to bring you back to see if you can repeat as champion. I definitely would like to see that. So now, hey, I don't expect the skills competition to be out of this world, but I would like a one-timer. That would be mine. Hey guys, whatever the NHL decides, it would be nice to have something held at Rogers. The place has been around for almost a decade, and no All-Star game or draft. I guess they got the bubble in 2020, but no fans could enjoy that from Sean. Well, Sean, the reason it hasn't come here yet is because the orders haven't applied. The orders wanted to wait until all of the buildings around the facility were complete. So when the league came to Edmonton, there was hotels and restaurants and all the other things. So it just looked better. That's the main reason why they haven't done it yet. Now they're getting close. I'm hearing, do you know, in the parking lot straight east of Rogers? And that's where they have one of the fan watch parties. My understanding is there's going to be a 2,500 seat outdoor bowl put in there, so you can host events. Also, it would you'd be able to have an. So I think when that's complete, then you'll have it, because you could do, depending on when they do it. And that was the other thing. And so here's the second question. I think this one's way easier. Do you want the draft in Edmonton or the All-Star game? Which one would you go to? Which one would you want to go to? Which one do you want to take your kids to? Draft, All-Star game. Very simple. We'll put it up on YouTube as well. as a poll question. But what would you rather have for your NHL city in Edmonton? All-Star game or the draft? I think I know the answer, but I'm just curious. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, I'd actually like to see the fastest backwards skater. I think that'd be very cool from Crotch. That's a little bit outside the box thinking. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Speaking of outside the box, did the contract, is it going to make it easier to facilitate a trade? Or does this mean the player is no longer getting traded? We'll find out next on the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton have a perfect summer day. Check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Some jobs are easy, and some jobs, construction hires good people to get the job done right. So, if you know it takes teamwork, grit, and the utmost care to work underground, you just might be who we're looking for. Right now, GS Construction is hiring experienced foremen to join our crew. Apply today at gsconstruction.ca. And remember, from the first manhole to the final tie-in, we've got your back. GS Construction. Tough jobs, good people.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
You have a choice, and it's a hard one. GMC employee pricing or 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick. A hard choice, but also super awesome. Get GMC employee pricing on our Sierra lineup, from the Sierra half-ton to the heavy duties. If you have cash, get discounts over $12,000 on many of our Sierras, along with GMC pricing. Or choose 0% financing on our Sierra half-ton lineup. And what a great selection of GMC terrains and fabulous Buick SUVs to pick from. So many choices. But one thing's for sure, you are getting the best deal at Wolf GMC Buick.
Mr. Rooter rides in a hot air balloon.
Oh, wow. You can really see it all from up here. The river crossing the city like a water line, the Walterdale like PVC pipes, and the cars circling the Anthony Henday like waves swirling a toilet bowl. Which reminds me, which way to the bathroom?
There's no toilet in a hot air balloon.
Well, I will have to remedy that.
For a plumber who soars above the others, trust Mr. Rooter. It's a special 11 a.m. game this Sunday as your Edmonton Riverhawks host baseball and brunch, featuring pre-game mimosas, breakfast sandwiches, and all your favorite pirate and princess characters. Get your tickets today to watch the Hawks play at GoHawks.
This morning and think, I want to be a used RV salesman. If you're like most people, the answer is no. But if you want to sell your quality used RV yourself, then a used RV salesman is what you are.
Welcome to your new job.
That's right, Bob. Put it up on all the best websites. Wait for the phone to ring and be ready day or night, weekday or weekend. Drive out to the storage lot for every random tire kicker who calls and hope that what you have is exactly what they want.
There's an easier way to do this, Rick.
That's right, Bob. You could bring it to Noble RV. We love selling used RVs, and the customers are already here. Commercials like this, bring them in by the hundreds. All you need to do is cash the check when it leaves our lot. Used RV salesman is not what you wanted to be when you woke up this morning. And if it was, well, I think you better come out here and apply for a job.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Day or night, tasting just right. You can order noodle at noodle.ca, delivering you the news. Oh, sit on your couch all day and oodle-oodle-noodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
The dog days of summer means baseball. Every weekend, Sports 1440 carries Toronto Blue Jays ball games. Ben Shulman will have the calls 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Jump on OTR's party shuttle buses to Elks games, Riverhawks games, and concerts at Commonwealth. To see all upcoming bus events, visit ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton's sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as Orders Nation YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Of course, it is All-Star Tuesday, the All-Star game in Major Leagues of Baseball. The big event going on for sports fans. Some of you watch it, some of you are like, meh. I will say, if you are a fan of All-Star games, this is easily the best one. It's the most competitive game just because it's a non-contact sport. So that allows it to be the most competitive game. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. You can get to $2 Sundays and snack size shakes, or check out McDonald's app, download it, and you get exclusive $1 cones only through the McDonald's app, plus tax. So download the app, stay cool today at McDonald's. Yesterday in the National Hockey League, a name that's been bantied around, maybe was going to get moved, but they avoid arbitration, and Bowen Byram signs a 2-year deal with Buffalo. They'll take him right to free agency. It's $6.25 million. Does this end the trade rumors or only rekindle them now that he has a contract? We'll find out. Longtime Sabres reporter from WGR Sports Radio 550, Paul Hamilton, joins us. Paul, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. Did I see that Major League Baseball is going back to letting the players wear their normal uniforms today?
I think they are. Yeah. I love it.
I hated those uniforms that they've been wearing. Those goofy uniforms. So I think that's going to be cool if they will be in their regular uniforms for the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That was kind of a cool thing for sure, especially for the kids. They love it. So I don't mind that at all. Bowen Byram, 2 years, $6.25 million. Does this end the trade talk, or is this just rekindle it?
No, it's there. I mean, the Sabres, I think, look at it. They don't have to trade him, at least right now. And if they didn't, I don't think Bowen Byram's going to be upset or anything like that.
Okay.
I think having this a 2-year deal is good for both sides, because the Sabres can figure out, do we really want this young defenseman on a long-term contract? And they get to see him for another year if they don't trade him. Play him with Rasmus Dahlin, where he plays very well. A lot of people detract from Bo Byram, saying, well, he can only play with Rasmus Dahlin. Right. His numbers were fantastic when he was with Rasmus Dahlin, and they were pretty bad when he wasn't. So, but my thought is that's fine. I mean, if he's on there 25 minutes a game with Rasmus Dahlin, and they're one of the better pairs in the National Hockey League, I have no problem with that. So what it does is this. It gives the Sabres a chance to figure out, do we want to, if this guy is willing, do we want to commit to this guy full time? And it gives Bo Byram a chance to try it out, maybe for a full season. Maybe Lindy Ruff keeps him there. So you're going to get your 25 minutes a game. You're going to be on in big situations, which is exactly what Bo Byram wants. The only thing he's not going to get is power play time, because that's for one unit is Stalin, the other unit is Owen Power. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when there's an injury, he could get that. But is playing 25 minutes a game in all sorts of situations enough for him? It gives Bo Byram a chance to see, well, is Kevin Adams just, saying they're going to be better, or are they actually better? Are they in the playoffs? Are they close to the playoffs? Have they improved? Does it look like they're now on their way? It gives him one more year to give that a look, to see, does he want to leave or does he want to be part of it now? So I think it's a good deal for both sides to maybe, if he does stay and doesn't get traded, to see, hey, is this a marriage that really could work? And then if it doesn't after a year, well, of course you would trade him before he gets to unrestricted free agency. Either you do one of two things. You either start negotiating with him after next July 1st for a long-term contract, if that's what you want, or you part ways saying, well, he's got 1 year left before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. We'll let another team deal with him and negotiate with him and, sign him to a long-term deal and send him on his way. So the Sabres aren't just going to let him just get to unrestricted free agency. I think they'll look at it at another year, see where he's at, see what he wants to do, see what they want to do. If either side decides it's not a marriage, then he'll be traded.
So you look at their team now, and really, Devin Levi's not signed. He's an RFA. Connor Timmins, they just acquired, is an RFA. Neither one has a huge negotiating power by any stretch. But the Levi one's interesting because they signed Alex Lyon, so it looks like he's going to be the backup. And Devin Levi, who is, he's played in parts of each of the last 3 years in the NHL. He spent more time in the American League and has really good numbers in the American League, and not so good in the NHL. But I wonder how much of that is to the players in front of him. What do you make of where Devin Levi is, and do you see him? Is he clearly going to be again in the American League, or could he push and make that decision harder to be the backup?
No, he'll be in the American League, and I, just knowing the type of person he is, I'm wondering when the pushback starts. It's like, all right, I've gone down there for a year and a half, which he should have. I mean, he never should have. Kevin Adams tried to hand him the job in the NHL twice, and it didn't work. And some of it is the defense in front of him, and some of it is him. He's all over the place. He's like a fish out of water when he's in the net. I mean, he's diving all over the place, and he's not set. He's not smooth like he is in the AHL. And quite honestly, he played 2 playoff rounds this year. The first playoff round, he gave up the first 2 goals against Syracuse. It was the best 3 out of 5, and Syracuse never scored again. He shut him down for the rest of that game. They came back and won it. Back-to-back shutouts gave the Amherst a sweep. But then he goes up against the top team in the regular season in Laval, Montreal's farm club. It didn't go well at all. He played very well in Game 4, which got them to a Game 5. But other than that, he would look like he did in the NHL, quite honestly. And so it gave me some pause. It's like, well, maybe he's not as far along as we thought he was. He was an all-star goaltender in the AHL. He put up great numbers. But that last series, gave me some pause that maybe he's not ready yet. But I just wonder because, he felt he could be in the NHL immediately, and it didn't work out that way. And he's been a good soldier. He hasn't rocked the boat or anything. He's gone down and put his nose to the grindstone, gotten better. But how much longer before he just says, you know what, maybe the situation isn't good for me here. It's time to move on.
Yeah, well, he's got 1 year left before he has to clear waivers. So that, this is kind of the last hurrah, I think. Or does he have 2?
Yep.
Maybe he has 2. We'll see. Looking at the lineup of the Sabres. So they traded JJ Peterka at 68 points last season. And, it was kind of a deal where, they bring in 2 guys, Kesselring and Doan. We'll see, where they can fit in or not. But what did you make of that trade? What led to it? And how tough is it in Buffalo, Paul, right now? It's 14 consecutive years. And I know that the current regime hasn't been there for all 14, but they've been there for 5. So what do you make of kind of the direction they're going in? Are they any better now than when Adams took over?
No, they're worse, or at least before the off season, and they still could be. They were pretty much in last place in the Eastern Conference for most of the season. They got hot near the end of the year, which lofted them out of there, but they still were not very good. And that by the end of the year, you're looking at, well, he's been here 5 years, and they've regressed for those 5 years. Mm-hmm. But he still is here. I mean, he had 1 more year left on his contract. Maybe Terry Pegula is tired of paying people. At one point, he was paying 3 general managers who aren't working, and Kevin Adams will listen to him, which he likes. So to him, I think that's the most important thing more than anything is he is a GM. That's what he said about Jason Botterill when he fired him. He goes, we felt we weren't being heard. And so and they had given him a vote of confidence just the month before. But they wanted the hockey department gutted. They wanted to be thrifty and save money. Jason Botterill didn't do it fast enough. Kevin Adams was willing to come in and do it. The first thing he did is fire people, a lot of people, and gutted the hockey department. But then Kevin Adams finally convinced Terry Pagula that pretty early, like in the next year or two, that this isn't working. We can't do it this way. We got to bring some people in here. And, but still, he listens, Kevin Adams listens to the owners. So how he wound up with a sixth year is beyond me. Other than that pretty much, and Terry Pagula does not feel that he needs to hold himself accountable. He's not spoken to the media since he fired Botterill. That was the last time he spoke to the media. So he doesn't feel he needs to be held accountable to the fans and speak. So you don't get a chance to talk to him and find out what he's saying. But the fact that Kevin Adams is here for 6 years is astounding.
Yeah, well, it is from an outsider. So that's what I wanted to ask you. I'm like, what am I missing? But when you explain how the owner likes it, because basically the GM listens to him, which I'm like, why? The owner might say, geez, maybe I shouldn't have a GM listening to me because we're not getting any better. My ideas are not working.
Right. Exactly. But he doesn't want to hear that. Yeah. He doesn't want a strong GM who can come in and say, this is how, if you want to be better and you want to be a champion, you want to make playoffs, this is what has to be done. And look at it. I'll let you know when I'm making a trade, but I'm not going to ask permission.
No.
I'm going to make the trade if I think it's going to make this team better to become a championship team. And that's what this team needs. And that's what the Buffalo Bills have. I mean, they just stumbled upon Sean McDermott. They were doing the same thing. I mean, Rex Ryan, are you kidding me? That guy was a clown. He was an absolute joke. But, that's what they were doing with the Buffalo Bills, who, by the way, didn't make the playoffs for 17 straight years. And then all of a sudden they found Sean McDermott. He got lucky. It worked. Sean McDermott was able to turn it around. Then they ended up getting Josh Allen, and off they go. But the Buffalo Bills regime do not have to listen to Terry Pagula.
Yes.
And that was a provision with Sean McDermott coming. I'm doing it my way, and Terry Pagula agreed to it. He won't agree to that on the hockey side.
Any idea?
And it just doesn't make sense. It worked on your football side. Why wouldn't you try it on your hockey side?
Well, that was my question. Has he explained to anybody, Paul, or insiders that you talk to as to why? Is it because he's like, well, I already gave up power on my football team, so I need to maintain a semblance of power on my hockey team?
He doesn't speak to anybody. And when it comes to media, he doesn't leak things. He doesn't talk to insiders. He doesn't do interviews. He did one on the NFL Network about his stadium and all that, but that was like, well, the NFL Network isn't going to ask him tough questions. He's not going to ask him questions about the Buffalo Sabres. They just threw him softballs, and he was able to do that. So that's the only interview really he's done since 2019. He doesn't talk because he doesn't feel he should be held accountable because he's the owner. And why should the fans hear from him? Why should he hold himself accountable?
Paul Hamilton joins us talking Sabres in Buffalo. Bo Byram signs a 2-year extension, $6.25 million. What about the fans? Because Sabres got some of the best fans, man. I've been there for the draft. I've been there for other games. Like, they got a real diehard fan base, but 14 years can test the patience of anybody. And
it's nasty.
It's
nasty.
Is it eroding?
Yeah, it's very nasty. I mean, there are times this team deserves to be booed, but the second it goes wrong, these fans are on these guys, and the players actually not this. The booing got so bad, the players kind of fought back. They wouldn't go to center ice and acknowledge the fans after a win. It's guys.
Yeah,
I don't care if you think you're right or you're wrong. You ain't winning this battle. This is not going to go well for you. That's just going to rile them up even more. I mean, you don't go to war against your fan base, whether you're right or wrong. You just don't.
No.
And I think that might have been part of the reason that JJ Pagula, or Paterka rather, JJ went through a 12-minute Zoom interview and that one Utah reporter asked him why he wanted to leave Buffalo, so we still don't know. But he did talk about the one game he played in Utah, how great the fans were and everything. And I thought, well, and JJ's kind of sensitive, so I don't think he really enjoys being booed and that type of thing. And I don't think he enjoyed the locker room scene where everybody's busting each other. I don't think he was really enjoyed much of that. He's always a frown on his face, but I think maybe part of it, because I thought when this was happening, I thought to myself, I don't know if this group of players is ever going to embrace this fan base. They are mad.
Yeah.
And there were people in management that were mad. That is just constant on them, constant booing. But the thing is, they have to realize, and some of them have been here for quite a bit of it. Now Tage Thompson is in his sixth year, seventh year. So some of the players have been here now for about half this drought. And this is my opinion. This is not facts-based. This is opinion-based. I think if this goes south again this year, I think it'll be a mass exodus out of here. I think the top players will skip me out of here. This is it. They just despise losing. It gets to them. They admit it gets to them. And I think if they're last in a conference again this year, I think you can start kissing the good players goodbye. I think they'll be asking out of here.
Well, Darlene's been there 8 years, so yeah, that is a long run. Thompson 7 seasons, so those are two of their best guys. So I guess that's my question is, now I'd heard they brought in Lindy Ruff because guess what? They didn't even have to pay him most of his salary the first year because his previous employer was paying him. It didn't work last year for them. Can Lindy Ruff? He's the last coach that was there. It's a long time ago. Can he bring them back? Do you think Buffalo has the talent to compete for a playoff team this coming season?
It'll be interesting because they should be better defensively. You can't be 29th in the league and be a playoff team and a championship team in defense. You just can't.
No.
And I think Kesselring makes them quite a bit better, especially as a partner for Owen Bauer. I think that'll work very well. Even their number 6 defenseman, Timmins over Connor Clifton. Connor Clifton last year just turned the puck over constantly. More fourth lines scored on the Buffalo Sabres. And that's who's out there playing against the fourth line, usually in Darlene. And he took dumb penalties. So you've improved yourself even there where you're not going to have so many mistakes that wind up in your net. But at the end of the day, whether Kevin Adams has failed for the last 3 years to get a top 6 forward that he desperately needs, or whether he's improved the defense or he hasn't, they didn't get big saves last year. They didn't get saves when saves needed to be had. Yes, the defense in front of them was bad. No question about it. You improve that, it should improve the goaltending. But still, your goaltending has to bail you out from time to time. Luukkonen did that not this last year, but the year before. He regressed and didn't do it last year. And, of course, Levi didn't do it when he was in. The only one that did it was 37-year-old James Reimer down the stretch where the Sabres actually played well. And, that's kind of what they're grasping to. It's like, all right, the last 23 or so games, Lindy Ruff said it took a while. And Lindy Ruff was really down saying, this is my fault. He goes, they shouldn't have taken this long, and that's on me.
Yeah.
He says, we got it now, but it's too late right now. So now I think they're grasping to, we're going to try it. We've improved the team. We're going to try to pick up where we left off. And if we play like that, but who's your goalie? When you started winning and Lindy Ruff decided, well, I'm going to go with the goaltender that's going to give me the best chance to win. It wasn't Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. It was James Reimer who was in that for that stretch.
Yeah.
And so Luukkonen's got to get back to where he was, where his numbers were almost at the top of the league 2 years ago. I think if that's why they signed Lyon. If Luukkonen, to me, if it's 2-3 weeks into the season and he hasn't regained his form, you've got to make the change. You can't let it go. Like last year, they were a playoff team before their 13-game, I call it losing streak. They did have 3 loser points in there, so they were 10-3. So with winless, I guess you can call it. And they were a playoff team after. If you took their numbers, they would have made the playoffs both before and after. But you can't throw a 13-game winless streak in the middle of it and expect to be able to do anything. And so, but they just let it go. Kevin Adams was frozen. He didn't do anything to change it. He didn't even call somebody up from Rochester. He was frozen, frozen in time, and just watched it happen. Well, if Luukkonen doesn't have his stuff in the first couple of weeks of the season, you got to make the switch to line. You can't let it go.
Great stuff, Paul, man. As always, really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for Hey, how about the Bills quickly? Where are the Bills at for this upcoming season? Is it Super Bowl or bust for them? Do you think they're that good?
As long as you have Josh Allen, you have a chance. And it doesn't matter who his receivers are, good, bad, indifferent. He will make them all look good. So they still have Josh Allen. The question is, what do you do with the Kansas City Chiefs? Do you hope that somehow they don't make the playoffs? Do you hope that somebody else takes care of them for you? And then you've got the lane to get through, but they just cannot. And it's by like 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
Except for the first time they played them. They got crunched pretty good then. But in the playoffs, they'll probably play them in the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, surprise, look what we're doing to you today. And the most critical part of the game where the Bills are like, we never saw you do that before. What? So they need to get rid of the Kansas City Chiefs somehow in order to, if they can do that, yes, they absolutely can be a championship and a Super Bowl team.
Awesome stuff, Paul. Thanks for this, man. Have a great day.
Take care.
Paul Hamilton joining us. Great rundown on the Buffalo Sabres. Like, that is wild. We got lots of texts coming in. I like this one. Jeez, after listening to that interview, I will never complain about the Oilers. I know it sucked that we lost 2 cups, but at least we're competitive. My goodness, seems like there's no hope there. That one comes in from Daniel in the email. So, yeah. We got a lot of other texts coming in as well. Hey, sometimes you need a reminder of that's not that bad in Edmonton. And in Buffalo, they're the opposite end of the spectrum. 14 consecutive seasons out of the playoffs. Like, that is a tough slog. Like, remember when McDavid missed 3 out of 4 and people thought that was awful? God, Buffalo Sabres, like Rasmus Dahlin would do cartwheels if he could have made the playoffs once in his first 4 years. He's 0 for 8. Like the Sabres have become that team now that I think most other fan bases, unless you're like a huge rival, you're like, God, I kind of hope they win just for their fans. And I'll tell you right now, the pity cheer is like the worst. But other fans, no, they felt it. Even other fans, like, oh, geez, you finally made the playoffs. Good for you. Take a quick break. We'll return, and we'll talk some baseball on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you an elite athlete or weekend warrior, and you just want to enjoy playing the sport you love with less or even no pain?